All right, coach. Coming off one game versus UMass, skated to a tie. Got the extra point with a shootout win. Big weekend coming up. Welcoming number 7 Maine to the XL Center. Just want to get your thoughts on this upcoming weekend.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great weekend. They're extremely talented club. I think what Ben's done with the program's been remarkable. They're deep in goal. They've had two goalies that they've been playing lately that have given them. We all know about Osman, but Boyer's been playing pretty well. Their D are very mobile. And they have some experience back there with Brazil. I believe he's a third-year player for them, and it all starts up front with the Nadeau line. They really got us last time. They were excellent. So we'll have our hands full. We got to stay out of the box, that's for sure. They're a team that can make you pay on their power play. So we got to play disciplined and smart hockey this weekend.
Joe, you want to start us off?
Thanks. Good morning, Cav. How are you?
Good morning, Joe. I'm good, thanks.
What makes the Nadeau so good? And obviously, it's not just them. Breen does a great job on that line as well.
Yeah, Breen's been a great player in this league for a while, and they've played together for a long time. They know each other. They play off each other well, and I mean, Bradley's a first-round draft pick for a reason, and Josh probably would be too if he wasn't undersized. So when you get brothers that can read off each other and, are really dangerous off the rush, you got to manage the puck extremely well. That's going to be our biggest, key probably against that line, especially. We cannot have we had turnovers high at our blue line twice, and they made us pay last time we played.
Hudson's played well, but hasn't seen the puck go in the net much. How important was it for him to get that, obviously for the team too, but get that game-tying goal at UMass?
Yeah, I think it was really big for him. I told him this week, I said, pucks are going to start going your way because he has played extremely well and had excellent looks. He had 2 or 3 great A's against Harvard that didn't go, but he just plays the game the right way. And when you do that, the hockey gods will take care of you at some point.
Jake, in the shootout, obviously you'd only had one other shootout this year and you only had 2 shots, and Samu and Maddie took them. But what was it about Jake that you had seen that you put him out there? I mean, I know he's got great hands as a defenseman, but what else did you see?
Well, we do a shootout every week, the last practice before we play. And he just continually scores in it. So it was just a kind of a hunch. He's been pretty good lately. So we put him out there.
Thank you.
Dan, we'll go over to you.
Did you get a chance to see Jan's debut in Calgary last night?
I just saw him going on the ice for the warm-up by himself on social media. I did not get that game. I was in bed early last night, Dan. I didn't even see the end of the BU Northeastern game.
But when he was here, what did you see from him that has since translated into becoming an NHL player?
Well, he certainly had the size and the strength. He was an excellent skater, very powerful, could shoot it a ton, had good skill. I think his game, he just had to mature. It just, I wish we could have kept him here a little bit longer. But, the 2 years we had him, he was an exemplary kid, excellent in school. He was like a 3.5 student, really, really strong student and coachable kid. So I'm extremely happy for him that he got his opportunity last night.
You've got plenty of guys that play in the American League and haven't made it to the NHL. So what's the differentiator between those guys that get that call up and the guys that never make it?
Sometimes it's just luck, Dan. Sometimes you get a guy, there's been situations where your American Hockey League coach gets promoted to the NHL. He really liked you in the American League, and he brings you up. Sometimes there's injuries, and you get your chance, and you play really well. Other times it's just like you just keep playing well and getting better and improving, and they have no choice but to call you up. So I don't think there's one certain thing or another that delineates between an American Hockey League player and an NHL Hockey League player. All those guys are pretty good if you're playing in one of those two leagues, but the NHL is the best for a reason.
Andrew, we'll jump over to you.
Hey, Cav. You mentioned last week when you were getting ready, when Matthew Wood was coming back, how grueling World Juniors was. What did you think of his performance Friday? It seems like he might have got a little gassed in that game. And how is he looking this week in practice?
He's looked back to normal this week in practice. I would agree with you. It was a little tired on Friday night. Although I actually thought he might have got better as the game went on. He started really slow. And I thought he maybe got a little bit better as the game went on. But we gave him a few days off, just totally off his skates and try to re-energize him here a little bit. But he loves playing, Andrew. He doesn't want to take time off. I'm making him, and he's begrudgingly taking some time off, but he wants to go out there. He's a rink rat, and he just loves being on the ice.
Go ahead, Joe.
Thanks. Obviously, we had talked earlier, Cav, about Tommy Messinio getting up into the play, and he's had 2 assists in each of his last 2 games. What is it about his offensive skill set that's kind of come to the fore lately?
Yeah, well, it all starts with his legs. He skates so well, so he can jump into the play and create odd man rushes with his feet. But he also shoots the puck extremely well. And, the pass he made to Percival was a really nice play to send him in on the breakaway. So I just think he keeps getting better, Joe. From where he was last year at this time to where he is now, it's been fun to watch his development.
And you mentioned Jake. He gets his goals in bunches. He did that last year, and it seems like he's in another streak this year.
Yeah, I hope it continues this weekend. What does he have? 4 games in a row with a goal or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's make it 5 Friday night.
What has he gotten better at, Cav, from last year to this year?
No, I think last year, like every typical freshman, he kind of deferred to older kids and maybe played a back seat when, times where he could shoot the puck, he'd pass it. And I think he's just getting more comfortable with his role on the team now and comfortable with himself as a player and has confidence that if I get a chance, I'm going to shoot it. I don't necessarily have to pass this puck.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Dan.
Any chance Jake Ballou makes his debut this weekend?
He is cleared to play. So there is a chance. We haven't decided yet on the lineup for Friday night, but there's certainly a chance. Yeah, he's cleared by the training staff to play.
Then I think he had 3 guys go out with, or at least come to the bench with an injury at some point with Percival, Capone, and Black. Are all those 3 guys good? Or any of them dealing with anything lingering?
They're all. I think they're all good right now. They're all good.